I've got in front of me, in my grubby little paws, have a listen to this. That's How to Make Your First Million. It's Warren Ingram's second book. He wrote, remember, Become Your Own Financial Advisor. We reviewed the book and I'd seen pre-release copies, but it's really nice to get a physical copy of the book in my hand. Warren Ingram's How to Make Your First Million, and it's full of really good tips and guidance and all of that sort of stuff, and I'm telling absolutely everybody to read it. So are you pleased, Warren Ingram? It's purple and it's good and it's got yellow writing. It's got a safe on it with gold coins spilling out of it. It looks good.
I'm thrilled, actually, I must say. It was lovely to see it in a bookshop at the airport, and I was really chuffed.
Okay, good. And are you like Max Dupree? Because he told me he does this. When he wrote his first book, he doesn't do it so much anymore. He sort of went into the bookshops and he'd angle his book so that people could see it better and sort of shuffle it around a bit.
No, I'm shy, so I move
okay,
away.
So I'll do it for you then. Okay, Warren Ingram, very nice to see you. Listen, I don't want to mess you around or anything, but Graham Kerner, you know Graham Kerner,
yes.
He's in on a Thursday night sometimes, and he said to us that he would respond to the appeal that we had from Food and Trees for Africa this evening. They said they would like as many companies as possible to donate trees. Graham said he's a small business. He'd like to donate 60 trees, and we've had two other asset managers come through, one donating 100, another one donating 101 trees, but in perpetuity, which I thought was rather nice. Can I stick you for a couple of trees?
Yeah, so you can stick
trees?
us for, pardon the pun, let's hope we don't get no splinters. 102 trees we'll do. We can't say in perpetuity, but we'll do 102 trees.
You'll do 102 trees?
Yes, we'll do 102.
Galileo Capital, thank you very much. Our tree count has gone to 364 trees or something this evening on The Money Show. So Food and Trees for Africa, there we go. We've got some trees for you. And I hope that other people will be inspired to make a commitment to go to trees.co.za and commit some trees and commit some money.
And the cool thing is we're all small businesses that have done it so far. So there's no excuses now for our bigger competitors not to come out to the party properly.
Like who?
Oh, let's talk about it. The Greys, the Alan Greys, the Coronations.
Alan Gray, Coronation, right? Ned Group.
Someone needs to give Nick Andrew from Ned Group a call.
Nick Andrew from Ned Group.
Yeah, he's got to do a delivery here of some solid trees.
Okay, excellent. Because they claim to be all green, don't that Ned Bank?
Yeah, there you go. Isn't that their colour? Yeah,
it is their colour, and they also say they're good. Nick Andrew at Ned Bank, Ned Group Investments. Okay, let's push. Let's see. Yeah. We'll make some calls tomorrow. We'll make some calls. Okay, now listen. I've got an email from a guy this week who works as a security officer. Basic tone of the email. I've got small kids. I don't earn very much, but I want to find out if I can invest. And through the day, I've had a number of emails from people saying the Julia story has been terribly inspiring, but she's so far out of our league that we find it a bit off-putting. So how do people on more humble wages and salaries actually go about investing? Not saving. Anybody can save $5 a month or $10 a month and put it into a savings account. But how do we invest? How do we do the stuff that helps us make our first million, as your book suggests we all can? And
I think it's quite a moving email. I mean, it was, you look at it and you go, here's a man who's we know security officials aren't earning a lot of money.
If he earns $3,500, he's doing well.
He's doing really well, and he's committed to this. So it's, I must say it's a great one. And I think there are not many really good platforms out there that are open to smaller investors. And when I'm saying smaller investors, literally, as you know, using the R5 example. So what can someone do with 10 Rand a month? And there are very few places where they can go and actually invest that money, access a nice investment at a very fair and reasonable cost. Now,
so often the world of investments is couched with, how much do I need to start investing? And that's such a wrong way of looking at it, because it excludes the vast majority of people who can't come up with the 10,000 Rand that people think they need, or the 300 Rand a month for a Satrix product. Even that can be a bit steep. Can you make it cheaper than that?
You can. And so to use Satrix as an example, I think they've done a joint venture with Easy Equities. So they've got a business called SatrixNow, and they will take any money, and literally any money. So if you've got 10 Rand, you can open an account with them, you can save your 10 Rand a month, and you can control that. You're not stuck in a contract where you've got to say, I'm now for the next 20 years I'm going to do this, and there's going to be these huge upfront fees, like some of the insurers did in the past.
Yeah.
Where they take a small debit order, but they charge you these massive fees and lock you in. You can do your 10 rand a month. If you get a bit more money during the month or at the end of the month, and you want to add a bit more, you can. And there's no limit on that, either a monthly amount or a lump sum. And if your lump sum's $100 on top of your 10 rand a month, you can do it, and it's going to cost you 0.65%.
So no matter how much or how little you pop in, you pay 0.65% of that amount.
Correct.
So of the $10, you would pay 65 cents. Of $100, you pay R6.50. Of 1,000, you
of $100, I'm working it out.
Oh, you are. Okay.
You're making me doubt myself here. 0.65%. You would pay 65 cents.
65 cents. I beg your pardon.
On $100.
On 100. It's 0.65, not 6.5. It's 0.65.
0.65.
So it's less out of that $10 that you might put in. You'd pay less than a cent in charges.
Yeah. So just to make it worth your while, because remember you might have some issues on bank charges, etc. So I wouldn't suggest that you start with 10 rand a month. I think it just the bank charges might hurt you a bit, and it's not that SatrixNow or Easy Equities are charging you the bank charges. That's literally your own bank doing it. So I think be careful of that. But if you need to save 10 rand a month, what you do is keep it in your bank account, let it get to $100 as an example, and that would be my number. I would say if you can afford 100 rand a month, do that. If you can't, let it build up to 100 rand, and if you do, and
rather do it once a quarter,
then do it every 3 months or so, and transfer it across. And the nice thing here is you can buy one investment. So I mean, we've spoken about them before. You can buy an index where you buy the 40 biggest companies on the stock exchange. That's all you do. You buy that one thing, and you start building up your investment portfolio. You'll earn dividends. You sacrifice nothing. So you're not losing out compared to someone who puts 10 million rand in. You're going to have exactly the same benefits. The percentage fee will be exactly the same. So you're not prejudiced in any way. And I think that's probably the first time I've come across something that's charging an absolutely fair fee to a really smaller investor.
All this is an electronic transaction.
Exactly, yeah. And it does cost them to run the administration and open the accounts and everything. So I'm not. I mean, there's no chance they're making money out of someone who's putting in 100 rand a month. And so,
but they're hoping that it builds a habit of a lifetime. That by this time the person is earning no longer 3,500 rand a month, but is earning 35,000 rand a month or 350,000 rand a month, because people apparently do earn that kind of money. That the amount of money they invest grows along with their earnings, because people see the benefit of being invested.
That's exactly right. And I think even that 100 rand a month eventually will add up to, let's say, 3,000 or 4,000. As the money starts to grow in itself. And I think that's where the platform might make money, Easy Equities or SatrixNow. So I'm afraid I don't have a range of options to offer, but that is one excellent option.
Michael in Linden says, how about taking the Stokvel approach? Now, the Stokvel approach is an interesting one, and it works for lots of people. But then you're not getting the power of the market, unless you're talking about, Michael, an investment club. But that isn't a tough dynamic, unless you've got 5 or 10 like-minded people and you can all meet regularly and you can treat it very seriously. The investment club approach is quite tough.
Yeah, but it's actually a good point, and it's probably one I should have thought of. So apologies to Andile as well, because I'm sure he's thinking a Stokvel's no problem. I think the comment there will be that you need to look at a very strict constitution for your Stokvel or your investment club, where you have proper rules about what happens if someone wants to leave the club or draw their money out or a portion. All of those things need to be decided before the time. But to me, if you don't have a group of people like that are like-minded and are willing to stick to a proper regulated or controlled, let's say, investment deal, then rather go the other way.
But do understand that if markets fall by 20%, your value of your investment is going to fall by 20%. And that's, you've got to understand that this is a long-term thing, that You're not investing money because you want to go and buy your groceries next week and you're hoping to get an extra couple of bucks. This is a long-term thing. Put the money away and forget about it.
And by long term, we mean at least 5 years and preferably longer. And you're quite right, Bruce. I mean, if you had 1,000 rand built up in this investment at the start of 2008, and you'd done well just to get to 1,000 rand, somewhere along the line in 2008, you would see your money
half
down to pretty much.
Yeah.
And if we had people phoning in to say, what do we do now? We'd be saying with a straight face and actually believing it, you stick it out, you stay invested, it will recover. And at the time, it will be extremely difficult to believe that. But guess what? It did, and it will again. We will have big crashes again. Just ride them out.
There we go. And the 1,000 rand that you had in 2008 might have gone down to 500, but by now it is sitting probably on over 3,000 rand, maybe even 4,000 rand, courtesy of dividends and compounding and growth and all of that sort of stuff. Rob says Easy Equities, South African online brokerage. We've been talking about them. That does not charge monthly fees that eat away and erode your profits with minimum brokerage fees. Minimum investment is 500 rand. Yep, that's for Easy Equities. And what we've been talking about this evening is the Satrix venture with Easy Equities, and it's called SatrixNow. So you might go to the Easy Equities site and see, 500 rand, that's too expensive for me. Look out for Easy Equities. Says Francis, so look out for SatrixNow, I beg your pardon. Says Francis, I listened to Warren having a lot of fun with SatrixNow. I'm glad people are having fun with it, Warren.
That's amazing. Normally we get people saying, well, I'm sticking to my commitment, etc., and I'm very chuffed to hear that. But if you're having fun as well, that's awesome.
No, I'm delighted. So Warren Ingram from Galileo Capital, he's done a couple of things this evening. He's brought me a copy of his book, How to Make Your First Million. In there, he's got a lot of details on the disciplines of investing, but he's also got really interesting stories, real case studies, Julia-type stories of people who have done well in the world of investing. He's also told us about SatrixNow and its low cost, which makes it much more affordable for people, even on lower incomes, to start an investment process. And he's also given us 102 trees. Well, he's given trees for Africa, food and trees for Africa, 102 trees. And he's going to exercise that commitment tomorrow.